Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We've got a great show for you tonight, and we hope you guys enjoy it too. I'm going to hand this off to Linda now.
Hi, everyone. I'm so grateful to be here. That was wonderful. It was wonderful to see the videos. I'm remembering what it was like back then and where we are now. So I just want to thank everyone for tuning in. We want to honor that we are based in Los Angeles on Toga land. And I want you to feel free to share the native land that you are zooming in on from the chat. We want to encourage you to feel free to continue engaging with the program in the chat and in the comments on Facebook throughout.
We'd also like to share with you Urban Voices Project's mission statement. We create supportive community spaces with music to bridge vulnerable individuals to a sense of purpose and improved health. UVP engages individuals and families across the greater Los Angeles area with music workshops in partnership with social, civic, and healthcare organizations. Our performance ensemble shifts the narrative and perception of homelessness in today's society.
Commitment to DEI, Urban Voices Project is dedicated to creating community spaces to engage with the connecting and healing power of music. This deeply rooted commitment is interwoven with diversity, inclusion, and equity principles as we strive to model a more just system and society. Dallas?
Yeah, we'd also just like to mention our workshops here. Here at UVP, we all have some shared values, which we think probably all of you guys do too. And we just like to share those with you tonight. So one of the most important of those is how we phrase it: listen louder than you sing so that everyone can be heard. So with that being said, we invite you guys to listen to us tonight and all of our panelists. And we also invite you guys to share all of your thoughts in the chat, and we'll listen to you. So all of us can be heard. For an overview of our program, first of all, we'd like to say tonight's proceeds will be shared between UVP and the Black Youth for Wellness. Please support as much as you can throughout the evening. There will be links dropped in the chat and the comments throughout the night, so you won't have to go looking for them, or at least not looking too long. Now, Linda, do you want to introduce our panel? Oh, Linda, it looks like you're muted still.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Technical difficulties in this new age of virtual reality. I'll start again with the panel. Tonight we have a really wonderful panel. Keisha, Nicholas, Antoinette, Drone. They are representatives from Black Women for Wellness. Dr. Alicia Oduna, Skid Row Vaccination at County of Health Services. Leanne Hahn, representative for Carrie Mae Weems, regarding her campaign, Resist COVID Take 6. Oh, you want me to keep going? Sorry.
Oh, I can go.
Okay.
So we'll also have, we're going to have a tribute to our late accompanist, Lawrence Jones. Lawrence was an amazing, amazing person. He'll be with us always. I didn't get to know him for very long, but the short time that I had with him, he lit up every single meeting I went to at Urban Voices Project in person. We're also going to meet our ASL instructor, Ronnie Perlut. We're going to have some acknowledgements for our production team. And finally, we're going to show you all the premiere of We Shall Overcome with an encore on YouTube Live to follow.
And at this time, we'd like to introduce our choir member, Ian, and Bibi, who is also a choir member and a board member, to take over for the panel. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, Dallas.
And Linda, Dallas.
That's amazing. Your bright smiles just lit up the room, and remembering Lawrence just really moved my heart. It's just a great start to the evening that we're going to have. I'd like to introduce my co-host here, Bibi Rosalia, sorry. And
Hi, everyone.
we will, there she is. Yay! together, we are going to be asking the panelists some questions. So first of all, I know already Linda's introduced them to you, but I want to introduce them as well because they are the most awesome, dynamic women that I have met in a long time. Their creativity and innovative, it really shines through everything they do. So first we have Dr. Alisa Orduna. She is one of our UVP board members, and she's also a Skid Row COVID response team. And next we have Leanne Hahn. She's representative for Carrie Mae Weems regarding her dynamic campaign, Resist COVID, Take 6, which has been all over LA. And what I want to say is that it is not an equal opportunity virus. COVID-19 affects everyone. And Keisha Nicholas and Antoinette Drone, they're representatives from the Black Women for Wellness. What they speak comes from their heart and enlightens all of us so that we can move forward toward where we need to go. And so we'll be asking questions to the panel, and each one will take their turns and answer whenever they like. And we'll be keeping it brief, but you're going to learn so much from these amazing women and their organizations as well as their work. So let's start off with, what do you amazing, most talented, vibrant women do in each of your organizations? And what is it that you love so much about your work? Anyone?
I can start. My name is Keisha Nicholas, and I am with Black Women for Wellness. I was recently hired to work with the Sisters in Motion program, and Antoinette will get to tell you more about our programs. And I'm also the senior administrator, but I used to be the chef and caterer, giving healthy meals to Black Women for Wellness. I saw the Lisa.
Awesome, Keisha. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Antoinette Drone. So Black Women for Wellness, we are a multi-generational, women-centered, community-based membership organization, and we are committed to the health and wellness of Black women and girls. And we do this through healing, education, and advocacy. And currently I am civic engagement, community outreach, and a program that's called Sisters at 8, which is our monthly community forum, or what we are doing right now virtually. Some of the programs with Black Women for Wellness. So as Keisha says, she's involved with the Sister in Motion project, and I am involved with the Reproductive Justice Program, which we support policy, utilize programs. We work with advisory council, commissions and boards to secure reproductive justice for women and girls. And then we have our Get Smart Before You Get Sexy program. This is our comprehensive sex education and sexuality education for young women and girls. Also, we have our environmental justice program, which we engage our community members to influence local, state, and national level policy that regulate chemical use in cosmetic and personal care. And also we just did a program on the Green New Deal. And we also, what I work in is the REAM program, which means that voting revolves everything around me. And we publish information to our community on current voting rules and regulations. We host town hall meetings about the ballot issues that concerns our community. We wish to build electoral and political power for Black women and girls. And also, we have a voting education program, registration outreach between elections and during elections. And we do this via phone bank canvassing and mailers.
Wow.
Wow.
Mhm.
Very
That-
comprehensive programs. It's
Very
amazing.
valuable.
Welcome,
yes.
Anthony. Thank you for sharing that.
Hi, everybody. My name's Leanne, and I'm an independent producer here in Los Angeles. And I had the honor of working on Carrie Mae Weems' Resist COVID Take 6 project, which is a visual arts-based program that was begun at the very top of the COVID pandemic. And it's been rolled out in Los Angeles and across the nation, but in Los Angeles, we sent out masks, reusable grocery bags, and artwork through Project Angel Food, through the Los Angeles Community Fridge Program, through Homeless Healthcare and the Homeless Healthcare Refrigerator Refresh Spot, excuse me, and the Urban Voices Project with you guys. Carrie Mae's work has a very distinctive edge that marries photographic and text radicalism with beauty as complementary forces, instead of thinking of them as being sort of negative and opposite. I think that what she does is really tells and make important statements through beauty. I think that the "we will hold hands again" message is a really important one. So I'm really glad to have been able to participate this way.
Amazing.
Such innovative creativity. And it's all done with empathy for humanity. What you girls, that teamwork makes the dream work. And I appreciate you with so much gratitude.
And last but not least, Dr. Orduna.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Phoebe. Thank you, Iron, and everyone. My name is, as you know, Lisa Orduña, working with Department of Health Services, Housing for Health. So we are an agent or arm of the county. We are focusing on the vaccine, specifically creating access and education for people experiencing homelessness. So we have been innovating. There is no blueprint on how to do this. For us, this is a social justice issue. Iron, I know we'll talk more, but you highlighted the discrimination, discrepancies around this virus and this impact, particularly around mortality and hospitalization. So we said, we can't assume if people want it or not. We have to provide education in ways that people understand it. So have really appreciated the arts integration, particularly UVP and LA Poverty Department, and elevating the conversation. So my job is to coordinate our education countywide. So thank you for having me here tonight.
Thank you, Dr. Orduna. Thank you so much, panelists, for highlighting the amazing work that you're doing in our communities. I'd like to transition now and talk specifically about how communities of color have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. Now, Liav is going to flash on the screen an infographic that we've pulled from our research earlier last year. And this illustrates how communities of color have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19 through death and case rates from their share of the population. So I wanted to know, from the work that you've been doing within these communities, what are some of the underlying root causes that you think that have been impacting the racial disparities in these outcomes? And I'll leave that open to whoever wants to answer first.
I'll kick this off, and as others join, you know, I think it is what we're learning in health services is the disconnection from access to health, particularly preventable health. And when we look at many of our communities, we look at where Black and Brown and Indigenous community, where the workforce is and the conditions of what we're working in. When we look at the lack of affordable housing, so people having to make choices where it may lead to overcrowded housing or multifamily housing, but kind of we don't develop the right housing product to accommodate that. And just access to fresh fruits and vegetables, grocery stores, parks and recreation, all the things we know that you need to build and sustain a healthy immune system. We're living in communities that are polluted, so we have higher cases of asthma and other underlying health conditions. We can't ignore racism and the impact on hypertension and high blood pressure, also diabetes. So there's many existing systemic pieces that this pandemic has definitely highlighted on multiple fronts. And I think that's what makes navigating through so difficult.
Great.
Thank you.
Lisa. Anyone else want to?
Alyssa said it all. That was our take on it. We do want to make sure, Black Women for Wellness, that people do know that it does disproportionately affect people of color in the Black community, but we're going to make that poverty and lack of access to resources related, because we don't want people to think of Black people or poor Black people as a monolith. We come with lots of experiences or circumstances, and so we have not all been adversely affected, although a lot of us have. So do what we can in Black Women for Wellness to promote. We have diabetes programs. Antoinette mentioned, our cooking classes are healthy cooking classes, because we've recognized that there have been lots of things that are unfair to us for a long time.
Awesome. Thank you, Keisha. We are running down to 3 minutes to the end of our portion of the program. So I wanted to kind of pivot and shift to the next question, which I wanted to address some of the mistrust and skepticism that we've had within communities of color with regards to getting the vaccine. And so considering the long history of racial disparities and mistreatment in the medical systems, how has this impacted the advocacy work that you do, and how do you feel we should move forward from here? Again, anyone can answer.
I wanted to give Anne a chance because what she's doing sounds amazing, but I say that there's definitely a lot of mistrust and skepticism in the community, and that's why we want to front load people with as much information and resource as we possibly can. So Black Women for Wellness has our Black Women for Wellness site, but we also have another website, and it's Black Women and COVID altogether.org. And that we just give lots more information and statistics on what people are learn and find out, so they can inform decisions about their bodies and their person and what they want to do, because that is important to us.
So we're kicking off a 9-month campaign. We're doing community outreach, we're doing phone calls, we're doing tabling, we're doing phone banking and text banking to surveys, to outreach to our community.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, everybody. Such a brilliant, enlightening conversation that, it's all about language and the words we use and what we choose to discriminate and promote hate. And fear kills. It's something that when we use art, it gets people to start to use their creativeness to bring out those in the darkness to find their awesomeness. I work at the Pico Union Project Sanctuary, and I personally hand out about 1,600 bags of fresh produce every week. And we have given out 1,200 vaccinations. But the fear is the worst thing. And so that's why I admire everything you guys are doing by using art, because art it's not analytical. It moves the heart and it touches the soul so that we all can come together, and teamwork makes the dream work. So I appreciate everything you do. We just want to wrap it with one last question. How do you think we had so much problem, we had so much destruction, so much devastation with COVID-19? How do we move forward? What can we all do together so that not only are we better, that we can then move forward toward our destiny of becoming healthy, of becoming fit, of becoming one heart, one mind, one body, one soul? Take it away.
I'd like to just bounce off of what you said, what you just got done saying. I think that we have to bear always in mind that we are more alike than we are different. That we have to remember that we are all same.
Amazing. Thank you, Leanne.
Go ahead.
Thank
We
you
have
so
one more.
much to all of our panelists for participating and joining us today in this very important conversation. So now I'd like to introduce Linda and Anna into the spotlight for a very special tribute. Take it away, Linda and Anna.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anna.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, hello.
You're
This is
gonna
my
see-
co-host.
you-
Oh.
we're- I'm here. I'm waiting for them to put the.
I can't hear her.
Linda, can you hear me now?
No,
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I feel like that telephone commercial.
I know. No, we're here to honor a member of UVP who is no longer with us. I thought that they were going to be putting up Lawrence's picture on the screen, and it'll come up. But I just would like to just share a little bit about Lawrence while they're working on that. I searched our records to see when he showed up on the scene with UVP, and he showed up on April the 3rd of 2019, which was just a month short of a year before COVID hit and shut the doors on everything. He was with us in that short time, for a very short period of time, but in that short period of time, he performed numerous gigs, and I went back to check the records of where he was involved with what gigs, and he was present to perform on the stages of Dorothy Chandler Pavilion, Grand Performances, the Music Center, USC, Skirball, Clock Shop, TEDx at La Sierra University, and Fox Soul, among many other venues. Although I can't personally vouch for the exact date of April the 3rd, because I couldn't find anything prior to that. I can vouch for his contagious smile, love of music, and passionate affair with the keyboard. I remember him showing up a bit early at the time that the setup crew was reconfiguring the meeting space for Neighborhood Sing one night. And he came over to me and he said, he insisted actually that his keyboard was the priority and that had to be the first thing that was set up
Yeah.
every Wednesday night. Okay? That's
Yeah.
what it was all about. He was hungry to let loose his fingertips across the ivories and lose himself in the music, in the moment. And invariably, he'd be reined in to perform the new neighborhood sing music selections of the day. But every now and then, true to his form, he'd take some artistic liberties with the piece. But it always worked. There was no containing his creativity. I love that smile. I love that photo. My favorite memory of him, as well as my favorite gig, was at USY Retreat, a Jewish youth social. The moment we arrived, we could tell it was going to be a special event night. The youth were so on fire, so happy at our arrival. You're going to see a short video clip of that Leah's going to put up, and you'll be able to see that. They were eager for the music to take over. The ebb and flow between them and us was magic. Towards the end of our set, I looked around the room, and there were groups of kids singing and talking and laughing. Others danced. Group hugs were going on, while others shed tears, and healing was being ministered. All of a sudden, my attention was brought back to the stage as I saw Lawrence get up and shout out to the kids, "What do you want to hear next?" He immediately returned to the piano and began playing Stand By Me. The kids loved it. They sang along. They asked for a second and third encore. If it was up to them, we'd probably still be there today. They did not want us to stop. Neither did we, and neither did he. To say that he was larger than life is an understatement. Human life could not contain him. And so,
Okay. You got this.
he had to transition into an eternal super force, surfing the airwaves and doing his part in making celestial tunes ad infinitum. Rest in peace is not appropriate for him in my opinion, but instead jam on my friend. This segues us into a video that will be shortly played after Linda, who is next, shares her memories and of him. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. That was beautiful. Okay, so my memories of Lawrence. First of all, we used to have these little tit for tats. That's how we started our conversations, and that's how we met. And I think he would just do that to see where I was at. And he said to me one day, you know, I knew you were really a good person, and I knew you were really cool because you're like me. You're from the East Coast, and you don't ruffle easily. And I can have this wonderful conversation with you and talk about anything. And we did. We talked about life. We talked about racial issues. We talked about anything that happened to come into our mind at the moment when we were sitting together. We would also memorize about being from the East Coast. He was from Philly. I'm from New York. And I used to tell him all the time, New York was better than Philly. And he didn't always like that. That was okay. That was part of our banter. And I loved Lawrence. I loved that he enjoyed playing for UVP and that he enjoyed being with us. He was amazing man, an amazing man with so much life inside of him and so much to give. And he was willing to share if you were willing to be open with him in his sharing and in his honesty, because he was very honest about who he was and what he had to say. And not everybody could take his honesty, but he had this infectious smile that when he walked in the room, he lit it up. And he would strut over to his keyboard. And like Anna said, his keyboard was everything. And his keyboard better be set up because he would really get a little irritated if it wasn't. Because when he walked into the room and we were supposed to start on time, Lawrence was there to start on time and to remind you that you needed to start on time. So I love Lawrence. I miss him. And he's in my heart. And we all love him from UVP. Thank you so much.
Hold on, wait. I'm gonna get you to do a real interview. This is just a fake interview. Mr. Lawrence Jones, what do you got to say?
Yes, hello, I'm Lawrence Jones, and I'm kind of camera shy right now, but do you want me to do like this? For real? Because I ain't got time for all that. See, you play too much, Cena. Hey, Cena, you see what I did? All drama, everything. Hi, Cena, and hi, everybody looking. I'm Lawrence Jones, born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, West Philadelphia, born and raised. I've been playing music since I was 10 years old. My mother and father suggested that I do that because I wasn't much of a fighter. So they said they got to learn how to sing, dance, or play an instrument. And that was the best advice that they gave me. I've been playing for Urban Voices Project since June of 2019. I enjoy it because I enjoy playing music. And that's my safe haven. And I play gospel music and I play light jazz. And Urban Voices infuses both of that. Like they might give me music and then I'll play it the proper way, but if I hear that jazz or gospel thing within my soul or whatever you want to call it, then I'll, I don't know, where should I be looking at, Steve?
Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor, please welcome our accompanist, Mr. Lawrence Jones.
Oh! Happy Black History Month, everyone. Everyone, we love this song because we've lost a lot of people, but all those people have done something, and meant something, and left something with us today. So we want to help you cherish and be happy like we are. Walk with the Spirit.
That's right. Let's sing this anthem one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, I walk in the Spirit. Come on. Hey! I walk in the Spirit. I walk in the light. I walk through the darkest hours of night. And I call my ancestors to my left and my right to walk with me, to walk with me. And I call my ancestors to my left and my right to walk with me, to walk.
Before we play the video, I just want to say this. Lawrence inspired the new version, our adaptation of We Shall Overcome, because he used to play this little, I want to say ditty was called We Shall, We Shall, We Shall. And you'll hear that in our performance tonight. So I just wanted to add that in there.
That video was a short one.
I'm sorry. Okay, at this point, I'm going to introduce you to Marilyn, who will be. Sorry, Linda. At this point, I introduce you to Marilyn Irizarry, who will be interviewing Ronnie, who was our ASL instructor. Take it away, Marilyn.
Hi, good evening. As you can see, Urban Voices Project isn't just a program. We are a family. And sometimes our family members go to a different place where we can't be with them physically, but we carry them in our hearts and our souls. It is my very great pleasure and honor to introduce the most loving, gentle, sign language teacher, but she's more than that. She is a very magnificent soul who has given her time and her expertise to us to be able to communicate beyond just words, heart, and soul. So if you would please give a welcome to Ronnie Perlette. Ronnie, hi.
Hello, Marilyn. Oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to start off by crying.
Well, I did.
Really, thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor and a privilege to be here today. Thank you.
Ronnie, I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
I don't remember when you started to be involved with the Urban Voices Project. However, I do remember right away you offered to help us to do sign language. And can you tell our watching audience, how did you find out about the Urban Voices Project?
Okay. I was introduced to Urban Voices Project by my dear friend and co-founder, Christopher Mack. Christopher and I go back, almost 40 years now. And after attending a live performance, my soul and my heart were so moved that I had to join Neighborhood Sing. And that was like the next natural progression to keep my soul uplifted. I believe in your cause. I'm honored to be a small part of this sensational group of people. And I hope to kind of stick around here for a while. I like how I feel around UVP people.
Thank you. We are very fortunate and blessed to have your expertise because we did not have it in the past as much as you have contributed. How was your experience of teaching those of us the sign language for this particular video? What was that like for you?
Oh, it was very challenging. Teaching American Sign Language over Zoom, first of all, is a challenge. And then teaching it to people who are not really well versed in the language was a challenge. When you're doing sign language, especially over Zoom, it becomes a mirror image instead of a copy image. So if I would raise my right hand, everybody would have their left hand up. And we had to learn how to adapt and switch to that. So that was very difficult. However, let me just say, I have never witnessed a group of people more eager, determined, dedicated, and successful, because I've seen some of the clips here. And the challenge for me was to stay true to the English words of the song, of the music, but remain true to American Sign Language. And so I think tonight's performance will prove that we really were successful. And I must admit, for a group of people that really had never, there were maybe 3 people in the entire Neighborhood Sing or in the entire choir that had ever done any sign language at all. And our fearless leader, Mr. Leov Sofer, picked it up like, you know, instantaneously and was able to provide videos for everyone to practice with. And when I wasn't able to be there, and it was just one of the most beautiful experiences in all of my almost 74 years of life, truly.
Thank you. We were really honored, and it was such a delightful experience. You were kind, you were gentle, you were patient. I had learned sign language when I was in my 30s, so just like any other language, if you don't use it, you lose it. I had forgotten. However, you helped us, for those who had never experienced the language at all. You were able to take the words literally and then to honor the sign language community. How could we be more inclusive to our deaf community? What is it that you believe we could do so that more people would be able to interact and play with us and benefit from our program and any program?
Any program. I think by doing outreach to different deaf agencies, deaf programs, colleges, many deaf people attend every college here, especially in Los Angeles, whether it be university or Santa Monica College, where I taught for 7 years, other community colleges, LA Trade Tech, LA City, deaf people are everywhere in the Valley. So I think what we would need to do would be to seek their input and assistance in any capacity that's possible, but that needs to coincide with the principles of UVP. And I know for a fact that there are a lot of people, deaf people out there that would love to be involved in helping on Skid Row and being in the choir in some capacity, doing outreach for you. And there's just a myriad of ways that we could involve them. And it's going to take some work, and I'm sure that it can be done.
Thank you so much for your soulfulness. We appreciate what you taught us, and we look forward to the times when, beyond the Zoom arena, where we
Yes.
are doing things, trying to figure it out, uh, we get together and that we're able to be there for those who are deaf and who want to participate. As we know, there are musicians who are deaf and dancers who are deaf. So we look forward
Yes,
to when we can connect again in person. Thank you for
absolutely.
everything, Ronnie.
And
Peace be yours.
thank you,
Namaste,
Marilyn.
sister. And now I would like to thank you, Ronnie.
Thank
Introduce
you.
Scotty, wherever you are, Scotty.
Hi, everyone. I'm calling in from MacArthur Park wearing my UVP t-shirt. Welcome, everyone. At this moment, as you enjoy the beautiful park behind me, I have a habit of, I was on the street for 3.5 years. So I'm used to calling in sometimes from the Zoom because, well, I like singing outside. And these are my new glasses. Thank you, Medi-Cal. So I'm going to be reading the thank yous. So if you've been involved in any way as a soloist or a board member, or you think you might be thanked right now on this list, if you would, we're inviting you to open your camera. You do not have to, as you can tell. I'm an introverted extrovert, so sometimes my camera's off. So this is quite a long list. Bear with me as I use these great glasses, thanks to the state of California. Special thanks to our dedicated choir members and soloists who shared an incredible message through their voices. Soloist Patty Smith, James Jennings, Arain Prada for the American Sign Language solo. You're about to see in a few moments. Choir members, Anna Pepe, Andrea Kay, Allison Lewis, Bibi Rosalia, Carol Gerard, Christopher Mack, one of our co-founders, Cody Lowry, Dallas Noble, France Emmanuel, Foxy, Arena Prada, Iron Donato, James Jennings, Kate Richards Geller, Curlin Paul, Kyle Gabriel, Linda Lee, Marilyn Irizarry, Matt Horns, Scott Clapson, Stephanie Bell, and Tom Grode. Our audacious audio editing, mixing, and mastering engineers, Adam Levy and Eva Rystad. Pardon me while I turn the page. To our creative arrangers, Kyle Gabriel and Leov Sofer. This song, it blew me away. I hope you love it as much as I do. Thank you so much, Kyle, for everything that you've brought to UVP. Our talented instrumentalist team, Cassius Paxton, David Saul Lee, Adam Levi, and Dallas Noble, who you heard from at the beginning of the presentation. Our incredible videographers, film directing and editing crew, Aileen Gayami, Michael Baseman, Sirio Capoyari, Mac Bleach, our courageous volunteer audio tracking engineers, Rachel Selk, Eric Hagstrom, Bradford Bancroft, happy birthday, by the way, I see it's your birthday in the chat, and Calvin Mayman. Our magical providers of meals and moral support during the tracking and filming days. Bradford, superfan Natalie Vishny, we love you for all the food, you're amazing. Dan Barling and Valerie Gabriel. I'm turning the page again, pardon me. Valerie makes the best cupcakes, by the way. Thank you. Our all-star American Sign Language coach, Ronnie Perlett. You just heard from her just a moment ago. You're so patient and wonderful, thank you. And we all learned that on Zoom, by the way. We didn't see each other till the day of the filming. So we all learned sign language, American Sign Language on Zoom. That's kind of a challenge. Our artwork producer and COVID Take 6 partnership creator, Leanne Hahn, such a beautiful collaborator. You're wonderful as well. Fulfilling with joy right now, I'm about to start crying too. The fantastic organizations that partnered with us and made this project possible. The Hippie Kitchen, LACW, Resist COVID Take 6, and Wesley Health Center's JWCH Institute. Cutting edge visual artist, Carrie Mae Weems, for donating your brilliant artwork to our cause. To our committed staff, Allison Lewis, and my favorite soprano, our production manager. Thoroff Island, our program and operations manager. Anna Riera Pepe, our choir manager. Aaron Alford and Brian Dyer for keeping the back end of the organization going. Christopher Mack, our co-founder and community resource consultant. Liav Sofer, our artistic director. Kate Richards Geller, our wellness and managing director. There's a lot of people that made this go, just this one online performance. We are so grateful. Our supportive board of directors, Dr. Elisa Orduña, thank you so much for being here. John Backus, Cesar Portillo, John Schwab, Bibi Rosalia, Michael Brodsky, Adrian Miller, and Baba Tia. And to all of our donors and supporters and everyone who joined us today. And I want to thank my mom, whose camera's been off this whole time. Thank you for all the wonderful years. Happy Mother's Day. You and my father you got a little kid an electric piano when he was a little boy, and you have no idea how much that's changed my life. I wouldn't be doing this now if it wasn't for you, Pam. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day. And to all the moms, happy Mother's Day. And now back to choir member and our first choir member board member. This is super innovative for this org. Bibi Rosalia, please welcome Bibi back.
Hi, everybody. And now we've come to the point in our program to share the premiere of our We Shall Overcome project. And I'd like to just take the time to say thanks again to all of our partners and volunteers for making this project happen. This has definitely been a labor of love for all of us. And yes, we will be able to hold hands again. So without further ado, I'd like to present We Shall Overcome. Enjoy, everyone, and I'll see you on the other side.
The Urban Voices Project, a nonprofit organization and a choir that resides in Skid Row, a community where people come when there is nowhere left to go. As we know, COVID-19 has not been an equal opportunity virus. For Black Americans who continue to struggle for dignity, self-preservation, and humanity in a world that doesn't allow it, the COVID-19 vaccine will help us to walk hand in hand again. We transformed Wesley Health Center's facilities into a studio filled with music. We had the historic Hippie Kitchen that welcomed us to film in their courtyard and outside their gates. It was there that we hung banners advocating for vaccines for all communities, donated by Carrie Mae Weems and her organization, Resist COVID, Take 6. To have this message reach more communities, we used American Sign Language to gather and perform safely. So, on behalf of Black activism and to address the misinformation of the COVID vaccine, we proudly present to you Urban Voices Project's adaptation of We Shall Overcome.
Oh my God, that was so amazing.
Yes,
Oh, that was so
everybody,
beautiful.
yes!
Lena, your beauty, your angelic awesomeness just shines so through. And James and Patty, holy, so many people, so many wonderful people. The collectiveness of all this awesomeness will take anybody out of darkness. I want to thank everybody who contributed to this. I love you all. You bring me my wings to sing. You are so glorious and you make me so very, very happy. And Dallas, can you take it away and do the act?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Iron. And thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much, everybody who contributed to this project. It was truly a joy to be a part of, and it was just so amazing to work with all of you. And oh my God, yeah, to everybody who's watching this, who was not part of the choir, who didn't know, this was our first time, most of us, watching it all together too, because we recorded all of the parts separately. I'm actually in Michigan right now. I'm not even in LA. Here, I had the privilege to record with one other choir member, France. We put a music stand and some recording equipment out in a Michigan forest and recorded some stuff. And now to see it all put together and the amazing performance of everybody in the music video, the sign language that you all learned so quickly. And Ronnie, thank you so much for teaching us. It has been truly an honor to learn from you. And I can't wait for everything that comes next. At this time, I'm going to ask for if any of you guys would like to support us in our further work. There will be links throughout the chat. There were some links earlier too. And all support tonight will be shared with Black Women for Wellness as well to support their amazing work that they're doing. Ian, would you like to take a good way further?
Yes, it takes a village to make a music video. I mean, there were so many people involved in this, and that teamwork makes a dream work. It's one of my favorite expressions, but this video shows how united we all can be when we all come together in our awesomeness. So thank you, thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Marilyn and Scotty again to say the final goodbyes. Thank you, Marilyn and Scotty.
Thank you, Iron.
Woohoo! Go Urban Voices and the team and the ensemble and everybody that worked so hard to make this video. We hadn't been together in over a year, and using the COVID protocol, we were all very, very safe and taken care of and nurtured. It was phenomenal to see our brothers and sisters again after so long. We didn't get to see everybody, but we know that everybody involved was there in spirit, giving us the energy and the just everything that we needed to accomplish this. We were given. I personally found out about the Neighborhood Sing, the Urban Voices project in 2015. And in the beginning, they didn't have the Neighborhood Sing. So I was just going to volunteering for the program because I felt that what they wanted to accomplish, their mission, was something that I wanted to put my heart and soul into, and I have. We have a neighborhood center on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So anybody anywhere around the world can join us and come play with us. It is how we have been able to share everywhere that anybody's been able to listen to us and get some of those amazing people that we've worked with. Bless their hearts, every single one of us. I don't know anybody that has done Neighborhood Sing. I personally don't know anybody that has done Neighborhood Sing that hasn't come out of it feeling supported, loved, enthusiastic. And so I invite you to come, the Urban Voices Project.org will give you more information about that. Also coming up for us, once again this year, we're going to find a way to do this, is we're going to have what we call a coffee house presentation, where the people that are involved with the Urban Voices Project have different means of expressing the arts. Some of us sing, some of us do spoken word, some of us have painting, some of us have all of the above. And that is going to be here on July the 17th. So if you're interested, please come and play with us again. Come play with us on Wednesday and participate with us, and you'll find out more about our coffee house on July 17th. And Scotty, your background is just beautiful. Out in nature, he is a force of nature, so it's good place for him to be. Scotty, take it away, dear.
Thank you, Marilyn. Marilyn, you're so awesome, and you've been such an encouragement to me and just all of you in this group. You really have no idea the ways you've been patient with me, with my mental health and homelessness, and just everything about me. Thank you so much for being lights in my life. I also, really quick, before I welcome you to anything else and before I forget, our production team has just said something to me. We have a very special guest. Alexandria, Lawrence's daughter, has joined us this evening. Welcome so much. Your dad brought so much joy to so many of us. Really, really, like, so much joy, and just helps keep us on time, which is something we'd struggled with about, like, starting and ending on time. He helped with that. He helped us laugh when we were just so many things. So thank you so much. Your father's a beautiful man, and I really am grateful that you joined us this evening. And once again, thank you to Lawrence Jones for everything you taught us and continue to teach us, I believe. So a couple of things I'd like to let you know about before we send you off. And yes, you can watch it again, Mom. You don't have to wait till tomorrow on Mother's Day. It's going live on Facebook at 7:30. But if, like my mom, you live in a place like Florida where it's a little bit late for you at this time, you can watch it again and again tomorrow and in perpetuity, basically. On our YouTube channel, we're having an encore tonight, and on Facebook. You can please subscribe or like our Facebook, subscribe to YouTube. If you don't know how, reach out to us. We'd love to teach you to subscribe to our channel. But that'll be happening at 7:30. So please join us for that if you'd like to. And you can also share that. That's at facebook.com/Urban Voices Project. And then you can just look it up on Facebook, Urban Voices Project. And I believe those links, thanks to Thoroff and some other people, are being dropped into the chat. We're also having an after jam this evening. So if you'd like to stay in the Zoom, I will probably be staying here in MacArthur Park, but I might be turning off my camera just because my hand's getting a little tired of holding the phone. But you're welcome to join us. And if you want to stick around and maybe get to know some of us a little bit better and sing with us, it's always a really good time. And we have a saying that we use, like, medicinal music or music as medicine, right? And it certainly uplifts me, and I hope it's uplifted you this evening. And please follow us on social media. We're on everywhere except for Twitter, and maybe we could rectify that in 2021. I don't know. Leov is there, and I always try and tag him. And you can put the website on there. Thank you so much to everyone who has shared this event, everyone in that long list of people that I have that we read off, and just everyone who came tonight. Thank you so much. And also to Black Women for Wellness. Thank you so much for being here and taking the evening to join us for something that you were invited to. And we really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for the encouragement.